Alright, welcome back. Today we have like another project. It is my son-in-law's 99 Civic. It's a sedan, 4-door sedan, EK. It's an LX. It originally had the, or it does have a D16 Y7, and we put a Y8 intake manifold on it. And the plan was to eventually put a Y8 head and the ECU and just completely convert it over to VTEC. That never happened. They drove it for, I don't know, probably a couple years since we last worked on it. But now they ran it with no oil. And so I believe it has a spun bearing. And it makes all kinds of rattling noise at higher RPMs. It idles fine. But when I checked it over, there was no oil in it. I put 2 quarts of oil in it and it still did not show up on the dipstick. So yeah, it's it's fucked at this point. Alright, so that's what this engine's for. I'm going to swap that into their car. It is a D15 V8, which I believe came out of the CX or the VX. I can't remember. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to put the original intake manifold back on it, and I think I'm going to put the Y8 or the Y7 head on it, because this is a Y8 head and it's at VTEC, and I'm not hooking the VTEC up. I'm just not doing it. They don't care. They just need something to get them from A to B, and that's it. Alright, so here it is in all its glory. It's got some issues, you know, some dings and dents, but you know, overall it's a decent car. The paint's faded in areas. He put a spoiler on it. I think he put SI wheels on it. And I just cut the grass, so there's grass all over it. And I believe that is a EX front bumper. Maybe. I don't know. Because I think the LX front bumpers don't have the fog light holes. It says it has 180,000 miles, but I would question that just because of the previous owner. So when he bought this car, it had like 160,000 miles on it, and about 2 months after he bought it, he started having some problems with it, overheating and stuff, and the head gasket had blown. But that really wasn't the issue. The original owner apparently put a new head gasket on it, but he used the wrong head bolts. He used bolts from like Home Depot or something, and the thread pitch was wrong, and so he destroyed the block. So we had to find a whole nother engine and swap it in, which no big deal, you know. We did it in a couple days. It sucked, but we got it done, and he hasn't had any problems since. And that's when we went ahead and did the Y8 intake manifold. But now they have problems because they ran it with no oil, and it does leak oil really bad. But if they just would have kept the oil in it, you know, we could have fixed the leaks and they wouldn't have had this problem. But some people have to learn the hard way. Alright, so here's the engine. We've got the Y8 intake manifold. He's got this cold air intake, and he put a header on it. And I think we replaced the distributor and the spark plug wires. But yeah, let's start it up and I'll show you what it's doing. So hopefully when I first started up, you heard all the knocking that was going on. I would have to guess it's the first piston. It has a spun bearing. That's where it sounds like it's coming from. But now it seems fine. Once you get past the first initial startup, it's fine. But when you're on the road and you try to accelerate, it does not accelerate. I mean, it doesn't knock at this point. I don't know. Do I add oil and just let it go, or what? I mean, I did add 2 quarts, but it's still not showing on the dipstick. All right, just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna add some old oil because I don't want to put fresh oil in here, and let it run and drive it around and see what happens. And I'm gonna filter it through this. All right, let's start it up, drive it around, and see what happens. I got it floored. It's just now finally going. But I don't know. I don't know if it's because it has the Y8 intake manifold. And it's just getting too much air. Or what? Alright, here's me flooring it. Definitely smells like burning oil. You can hear it clanging. I just felt a slight stutter. And of course it's got the broken thing where you have to use pliers, but that's typical on EKs. Seriously. Alright. It definitely smells like burning oil, and it's already leaking. You can see in there it's leaking. It's all leaking right here on the valve cover, over here. And probably from the distributor, even though I think that's new. I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think it's the bottom end or top end? So I don't want to get too deep into it in this video, but I am going to take the valve cover off and check out the valves and all that. And let's go ahead and pull the spark plugs. That spark plug definitely looks like it's been hot, but it doesn't look horrible. They all pretty much look the same, so that's good news. Alright, so my camera was in the heat and it shut down. But, I mean, the head doesn't look bad. I can't really see the cam to see if there's any scoring from no oil. I mean, it looks okay, I guess. I do need to go to the junkyard to get the Y7 intake manifold, because the one we had on there, this was like several years ago, I ended up throwing it away or something because it's the most useless thing ever. So I think I'm just gonna put it back together and in this portion of the video, because I'm not gonna really get into it. I mean, it's hot as hell today. And I am, I already cut grass, and I'm done with the heat. It's making my stomach hurt. Yeah, I know, I sound like a little but you know what? Sometimes it's okay to admit that you're a Alright, so anyway, to close this video out, the plan is to take the Y7 head off of that engine because it looked good, and of course I'll double check it and go through it all before I put it on to this block. And then I'm gonna go to the junkyard, and there's a whole Y7 intake with the throttle body and the box because it sits on top. Get all of that along with the air filter thing and all that good shit. Get all of that, and then install the Y7 head on here. And I want to set the timing, make sure the timing's good, and the water pump and all that stuff's good anyway, so I might as well do that. And then obviously we need to pull the engine from there, and we'll break that down on a totally different video. But my next video, I probably will get that motor out, and then I'll have a video with putting the Y7 head and the intake back on here, and then probably another video of installing the engine. Maybe, I don't know, because I need to get this done like a week ago. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when we did the head gasket on his car, we cleaned all that. We pulled all the valves out, cleaned them, made sure the valve seats were good and nothing leaked, and we put all new valve seals in. So I mean, honestly, that head should be good. If anything, the cam might have scoring on it, but it didn't look like it. But if it does, I'll just get the cam from the junkyard, because that engine, it only had 146,000 miles or something on it. I don't know why that car is in the junkyard. I'll probably do a junkyard video too, because I know everybody loves junkyard videos, and I love going to the junkyard. So, but anyway, I'm gonna close this video out. Please subscribe, share, like, comment, whatever it is you want to do, and I will see you all in the next video.